Yeah, so shit, I had deleted a video from last night. I was going in for about 3 hours. People saying I was just rambling. So, I mean, I thought about it. We do need to talk about some of the things that I was speaking about on that video because it's much important. Like I was basically going in on for the kids and stuff like their choice of music and because music is that's what this universe is basically built upon. Sound. So music is much important. That's why I say music soothes the savage beast. And you can't go wrong with certain music. Like for some reason, me growing up, and I never heard this shit growing up, but classical music, like Beethoven, Mozart, shit like that, I was into that. Probably couldn't tell my homeboys and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I was into that music. The way it was played. Can't tell you shit about Beethoven and Mozart. I ain't gonna get into what color they was. I know people probably like, you always gotta say everybody black. Nuh-uh. It doesn't matter at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I was going in on the music and trying to tell people, single mother, single dad, whatever, you gotta talk to your kids. You know, me growing up, they had the Children Are the Future song, but they ain't do nothing to try to help the children. They tell you the children are the future, but they ain't do nothing to try to help it. And look where it got us. Look where we at now. The children of the future, and they did everything for the children of the future. What did they do? Because the children of this fucking future is murdering each other like this fucking Hunger Games. So, man, I'm gonna make this short because I'm not gonna get into it like I did last night. I was tempted to put that video up, but I was going in. I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing that video. And I said I was going to put it up, but nobody was going to watch that shit. So I'm going to make it short and sweet. If you're a single mom and you're raising a male and his dad can't be in his life, or if his dad is in his life, sit down and talk to the dad and let him understand. You can't do that by yourself. A lot of women say, I could raise a man by myself. I could raise this child by myself. No, you can't. You said he'd be okay, but you need a male figure. I had my older brother, I had my mom's boyfriend, and I call him dad. And he passed away this year. And the last thing I heard him talking about was me. I tried to call him a couple of times before he died in the hospital, and he did not, it didn't work. So I had to keep trying to find a number, and I was trying to call him. And all of a sudden, that same week I was trying to call him, he passed away. And I was basically his son in his eyes. He had no kids. And that hurt. Because he was my dad, for real. I don't care if He wasn't my birth dad. My dad's still alive, and I haven't seen him in over 20 years. I seen him one time in my whole life. So, but that guy who raised me, up until him and my mom separated, he technically was my dad. And women, if you decide to deal with another person, if you have kids, make sure that's a good guy. Because, I mean, you know all the craziness that been happening with people choosing the wrong person and kids end up dying, molested, whatever. But make sure you choose that right person, because that person is looking at that kid is looking at that person as a male figure in their life. And I said I was lucky to have an older brother that was like 11 years older than me, because he taught me what a lot of stuff I shouldn't do and a lot of stuff I should do. So for parents with single parents, man or female, with daughters, your daughters are the foundation. Like, everything runs. They say it's a man's world. It's a woman's world. Everything every guy does is basically based on a female or females. I mean, they do this for the females. They do this to get females. They want to court them. They want to do all this. Like, everything is based on that. Like, my era of rap growing up, I told you, was Cash Money, No Limit, and all of that. But that's when rap had changed from what it. That's when it went down south. There wasn't nothing wrong with the South rappers. They had their own expression, and they expressed it in that way. They ain't copy nobody. They did what they thought everything was about. Flashing. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, New York rappers flashed. So there wasn't nothing wrong with it. It just was their perception of how they feel they should spend their money and act. So I'm gonna make it quick to talk about these kids, and it's the music. Like, if you growing up boy into a man, there's a lot of tricks out there for them right now. They want to teach your kids all types of stuff. I'm not really down for that. But I understand what some parents say. Well, we don't have no choice. We gotta let them do it because we ain't. But Malcolm X said best. Only a fool will let the enemy raise his child or teach his child. And we got black teachers, but you're not teaching nothing about black history or the real black history of America. So they be like, oh well, we teaching too. Okay, yeah, you teaching the doctrine, their doctrine. And it's hard to not keep this about race, and I don't want to really go into race. I want to go in just to talk to you black folk, to tell you, not even black folk, white folk too. Watch what your kid's doing. You see your kid, this is every race. If you see your kid going down a path and it don't look pretty, do something about it. Don't just sit there and wait until he fucking do some extreme shit, and then you talking about how much of a good kid he was. Any race. Like, it kills me when I see some of these moms, when that kid gets shot or that kid get locked up. Oh, he was a good kid. He was a good kid. He showed you he was a good kid. But in the streets, he probably was a fucking menace. This ain't dealing with no specific race here. I mean, the mental illness stuff need to be talked about. It ain't just dealing with just one race. I can't really speak on a white man mind state because I'm not a white man. I can't speak on that. I can speak from a black man's point of view because I'm a black man. I could give you my opinion of where I think that their mental state is at where it's at, but that what would that do? Just have somebody in chime in and say, like, no, I'm giving you my opinion on my opinion of how I see it. I can't give you my opinion on another race of anybody just talking shit. I can't do that. I mean, they got enough people out here talking about the mind states and the mental mind states and the mind fuckery, and I don't need to be talking. I shouldn't have to sit here and say all that. You know what I'm saying? Just come here, speak on. I gotta get my glasses. I really don't like putting them on when the sun out, but hold up. Yeah, so I won't break down that video that I did in layers and parts, so it won't be so long. But half that shit I was talking about, I can't even remember. I just know I was going in. That's why I started this one off talking about music, because that's what the video eventually was about. The mind control, not the mind, basically the mind control in the music, because the music is an influencer on us, young and old. I done seen even grown folk listen to a song, and it just does something to them. You'll see them break their character and everything. So we can't sit here and say that's not the thing. They get hyped up and be wanting to fight over a song. So if a grown folk, his mind is not strong enough, what you think half these kids, when they listen to it, how they feel when they hear it? They're younger, their mind is less developed. So when they hear it, what you think they fucking hear? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You not, like, to them, they want to be hit. When I was growing up, going to school, elementary, middle, high, especially like when it was like kind of forbidden, when certain raps we used to promote. We had some kids in our class that could listen to that shit. Their parents was like, nah, my mom, she wasn't like that. She was like, you can listen to it. Like, she didn't stop us. She basically made, and that was kind of good. She made us make our mind up on our own. And I decided, I'm not letting this shit control me. I'm not going to listen to some shit and let it, or watch some shit on TV, even like a movie or anything, and let that dictate how I treat other people. Because I'm glad I brought that up, because I didn't say this last night, but when I was in high school, I had two friends. They was real close. Me and one of them had a fight growing up, ended up squashing it, becoming cool. High school, that was my high school homeboys. So I don't know if background got anything to do, so I'm gonna tell you where they from, but I don't know if background got anything to do with it. But I'm gonna just tell you, one was Jamaican, but he was from Canada. The other one's African, but he was raised here. In my neighborhood, we all lived on the same street. And their idea of women was way different than mine. they believed women was just good for fucking them, busting a nut, and saying fuck them bitches and scooting them on the side to the next one. So I'm in the 9th grade. They older than me. They 1 year older than me. So I'm 16. They 17. We walking home from school one day, and they say like, telling them about this young chick that's trying to holler at me. Well, not young chick, but chick that wanted to get my number or whatever. And they basically said to me, man, fuck that bitch and scoot her to the side. And I was like, huh? I was confused. I didn't watch enough. I mean, I listened to music, but I didn't take on that mentality. I told you, I did not take on that mentality. So it was like, just knock her down and line her for the next one. And I was like, nigga, that's what people in movies do. That's what I had said to them, and they started laughing. And I'm like, why is that funny? He was like, you gonna learn, you gonna learn. That's what they kept saying to me. And it basically what they were saying was, they said the Snoop Dogg shit. We don't love these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall in love with them. That's what they basically was telling me. But I, as a young kid, matter of fact, I wasn't in the 9th grade. I was in the 10th grade. That was in the 11th grade. But me, as a young kid, that was bizarre to me. Hearing that come from people in everyday regular life. Because I didn't think people was I didn't think the mind control or the effects of what people were saying in songs and shit really affected people in the world. I just thought they listened to it for entertainment like I was, and then that was it. They didn't carry their lives by it. But no. They say art imitates life, or life imitates art. Life imitates art in some parts of it, because that's what motherfuckers was doing. And they made it perfectly clear to me that's what motherfuckers was doing. So as I got older, I kind of adopted that mind state, but I didn't adopt it until like I got personally affected by it. And I start, you dealing with somebody, they cheating on you or whatever, they doing this, they doing that. Then you be like, damn, maybe they was right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stop this and restart it. I'm gonna do it in parts. I might as well go to a 20. It's at 18. So I'm gonna do a 20, come back, do another 20. I'm gonna do it like that. So I'm gonna keep going though. So I got 2 minutes. So when I'm talking about the music and the shows and the movies, all of this influence our behavior. It does. Like I got a homeboy, he said he don't watch no movies, but his fucking behavior is ruthless. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, man, like maybe you should civilize yourself by watching some of these motherfucking movies. You know what I'm saying? Try to learn some shit. But fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, pay attention to your seeds. See what they watching. See what they doing. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they on TikTok. My daughter, I told you, she 11. She on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? She had a tablet. She getting messages from little white people. Like little white man. I don't know if it was like spam, but asking her how old she was and shit. Like, I'm like, nah, I had to get her off that. I don't know if it was just spam or whatever, but nah, we not about to do that. And I told her, if you don't know them, don't talk back to them. Don't respond. Don't tell nobody where you from. Don't do none of that. Even when she playing a video game and all that, don't be talking to. You could talk to the little kids, but don't be telling them where you from. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them nothing about you. Just play the video game, because it's more of this social life that we into. It's normal to them. See, when they brought it on us, we was in our teenage years when we was able to interact with people around the world on a regular, everyday basis. When we was able to get on Xbox and PlayStation 3 and play Call of Duty and talk to people from around the world. Like, that was new. It was like the new part of the experiment of social media. Now, it went so far where they'd kill themselves if you say something wrong to them, or try to find you and kill you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop it here, come back with the next one.